Now, many people ask, what is the greatest asset in a spiritual life? The greatest asset in a spiritual life is discipline. Ability to do the routine day in and day out, which is the most important quality which is required across. Many times you will feel mentally disturbed, you will not have the energy, you might not have the focus, you might not have the motivation, you will find it very, very difficult to practice your sadhana into your daily life across. So please understand, Patanjali talks about Vairagya Abhyasa is required in the spiritual life across. In the same manner that, for example, in the same manner like that of gym, like that of body weight losing, many people don't have the discipline and the focus. They get easily distracted. They are not able to follow the yama niyama. That is why they don't lose weight. That is also the same thing in the spiritual life. You can listen to any amount of discourse, you can listen to any amount of videos. That is not going to bring a comprehensive change into your spiritual life. You need a practice, you need a dedicated practice, you need a focused practice in your life to become very, very successful into your spiritual life across. So therefore, even whether you listen to the discourse or not, whether you understand the comprehension about the various scriptures or not, it does not really matter. What really matters is focus. What really matters is the faith in the technique or the practice of that technique again and again. There are millions of techniques, but the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra talks about the 108 spiritual techniques which are available. Now, it does not really matter, because through practice of one technique, you can get enlightened. The problem is you need to commit yourself, you need to focus yourself, and you need to do it day in and day out. This is the problem with many people. Many people easily get distracted with their cell phones, with their TV, with a variety of things across in their life, because they are not very focused. And second thing, going inside into your mind and your emotion, you can have a lot of problem into your life, because the moment you go inside it, all the karmic churning will happen. Now you need to face your karmic churning across and allow the poison to come out of the mind, and then only you will be able to use your meditation technique properly. Many people talk about their kundalini awakening, whether they have astral travel, whether they can practice sexual magic. All the variety of things is talked about to people. What they don't understand is that basically when you do meditation, your love will deepen. For example, you have an unresolved conflict with your father. All that thing which is locked and suppressed in the mind will come out, and you need to face it very clearly and squarely and forgive your father and mother. For example, maybe you have a wounded childhood, maybe you have a very, very difficult relationship, maybe you have had a divorce, or maybe one of your people have died across, or maybe you don't have a proper job, maybe you have a difficulty in accessing accepting the new boss, all those things will come out of it. So please don't underestimate the power of the meditation, which will lead to churning. If the meditation is not leading to churning, which means your meditation is not proper. Normally for 2-3 days it will be pleasant, after which the lot of inner poisons of anger, hatred, miscommunication, all that will come out across. So this is one of the reason why many people try to switch over the technique and switch over the guru across, because they do not want to go through the journey. I know one person was listening to the discourse on mother and why mother is very, very important into a person's life. And then what happened is he went to his mother, and there was a huge difference of opinion with the mother, and everything just broke down into pieces across, and he was not able to follow the spiritual wisdom. So remember, all meditation technique will lead to loving kindness, and that loving kindness will help you to have a very, very peaceful life. When you deepen your meditation, you tend to forgive people, you tend to accept their limitation, and you do not expect a lot from people. Now many people have a lot of expectation, and they have a strong difference of opinion with other people, which gets unresolved. Many people try to put it inside the carpet, and they are not very interested in resolving the issue. They expect other person to resolve. So remember, love means it will lead into deeper understanding. Meditation, understanding, love are like 3 pillars of practice. The more you practice the meditation, the better the understanding you will have, and the better the love you will have as a person. Now no amount of discourse can do this across. Now many people talk about how to be happy, why you are not happy, all about that. Happiness and unhappiness will follow shadow of each other, but happiness and unhappiness will lead to what you call it as loving kindness, or what you call it as metta sadhana. So if your meditation is going to deepen across, your heart chakra will open, and there will be a lot of flowing of love which will happen across. But at the same time, the poisons of anger, ill will, hatred, ego, misunderstanding, all that will also come out, and that you have to resolve it across. That is why it is called as the churning of the ocean. The mind is the ocean. The churning happens. When that churning happens, first the poisons come out into a person's life, and that is why they say Shiva drank the poison of alahal, which means basically your Vishuddhi chakra, your communication will change. The way you communicate people will change across a person. That will help you to have a better time into your life. You will become more peaceful, more forgiving, more happy. If you are not forgiving, you will not be happy. That is the secret of happiness. But that will come only with the understanding and accepting the personal and the global limitation of life. Now many people try to struggle against their limitation. They try to keep on fighting against their limitation without accepting across. So please understand that this is one of the problem with the so-called modern meditation teachers, who do not allow you to meditate a lot, but who goes on giving you discourse. Discourse is a spiritual entertainment, but will not help you to go deeper into the rasas and abyss of mind. The mind is compared to the dark ocean, it is compared to the great sky, and remember, the thoughts are like ephemeral. They keep on moving, so you need to non-identify with your thoughts, or do some kind of a spiritual technique which will help you to purify the mind. Unless the mind is purified, the 5 senses are purified across, this delusion will not stop. How much our books you read, how much our practice you do, how much our discourse you listen, the practice is the main thing. The results and the effect of practice is seen very clearly. The way you carry yourself, the way you deal with your life across. This is not understood by many people, who tend to think that they have become very spiritual by listening to some kind of a discourse. It's wonderful, it's beautiful to listen to the spiritual discourses, but what is more important, it is a practice. It is the vairagya which is very, very important. Without having vairagya and without having abhyasa means practice, what the musicians call it as riyas, you are not going to become better into your spiritual life. You can hear about kundalini, awakening, astral travel and the lower astral beings, all that, but that's not going to work into your life unless you have your practice focus. So make your practice a priority rather than the theory. Give theory 10%, 80% give yourself to practice across. I pray God that may your practice deepen, may you become deeply spiritual, and may meditation take off. Thank you.